Hey guys, and welcome to another new episode of The Gig Nerd. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about what I personally think is surely one of the most anticipated records of the last decade. It's been 16 years since their last album. There has been perfect reviews in advance of the record, two amazing singles to get us excited, and a band who have a near untouchable 40-year output. Today, we're going to be talking about The Cure and their new album, Songs of a Lost World. I am so excited for this album, and it has honestly been a while for me personally since I have had this much hype for a record. And I have a feeling this album is not going to let us down, and it is going to be absolutely stunningly beautiful. If you don't know The Cure at all, well, where have you been? At the end of the video, I'll do some recommendations because they have a lot of material and it kind of can be intimidating on where to start, but I'm sure most of you are probably big fans. But stick around for the end if you want some recommendations. But for now, let's talk Songs of a Lost World. There's been two singles released so far, the gloomy progressive intro alone, but the magnificent catchy gothic masterpiece A Fragile Thing will surely be a highlight of the whole record. I adore the progressive piano work on this track so much, and the guitar solo at the end, when Robert is emotionally howling, "This love is a fragile thing," is haunting in the most perfect way. But I am glad there's only been two singles dropped from the album so far. It's great to be going into this record, having heard so little. Sometimes I think bands drop way too many singles in advance of a record these days, but The Cure have not done that. I really am excited to unpack basically a whole record on release day. That is a great thing. Admittedly, they've played and tested out a lot of the album live on the road already on their recent tours, and there's been an amazing fan reception, especially for the final track, End Song. I'm so excited for that. And the recent reviews have been perfect across the entire board. I think it's great, and to be honest, kind of important the bands play songs live before being dropped. I think it's an awesome way to test them out, and it helps the tracks evolve so much. Some of the songs on Songs of a Lost World were played nearly 3 years ago, so they've been in Robert's mind for a while, and I'm sure they have evolved so much. The Cure are just amazing doing that. It's utterly insane how The Cure have kept such a high level quality output while changing genres so much over the course of a 40-year career. It is mega rare. They have fun, poppy, upbeat albums like The Top, gothic, depressing masterpieces like Pornography, as well as their much more experimental, challenging stuff. Robert Smith and The Cure really can do everything so well, and he's never sat back and rested on his laurels. This album is being compared to Pink Floyd and Nine Inch Nails, for God's sake. Two fairly heavy bands at this point, so this may be another left turn from The Cure. We may think we know where this album is going based on Alone and A Fragile Thing, but do we know anything? The Cure are so good at keeping us on our toes. There's always been such heart and love within the darkness of The Cure's music, and hearing that this is the most personal album of Robert's career, and the album that he has spent the most time working on, I think it's safe to say that this is going to be a special one, guys. It would have been far easier for The Cure to just retire from making albums and just go and play the hits. They would have made a lot of money, but they're not doing that. They are artists at heart, and they want to continue to challenge themselves artistically, musically, and being interesting. And isn't that what music should just all be about? I'm fully expecting Songs of a Lost World to be more of that. And all of the songs were entirely written, composed, and arranged by The Cure's leader, Robert Smith. And this is only the second time in The Cure's entire career that he's done that. I mean, Robert, save some talent for the rest of us, dude. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am so excited for this album. And I cannot believe that I didn't see The Cure when I went to Reading in 2015. What a fool. That's a major mistake of mine. They are now for sure in my top 10 bands to see that I haven't seen live before I die, especially as they play these sprawling, sometimes 4-hour shows. Robert has even said that he has enjoyed touring the last 10 years more than the previous 30. There seemed to be an almost resurrection of love for The Cure after their 2011 Festival headline slot, and then even more so after the amazing Glastonbury headline slot. But there's no doubt The Cure and Robert have always been respected and loved. They are such a staple of pop culture, and they deserve all their respect so much. 40 years after they first became a band, they are still selling out shows in seconds and headlining festivals around the world. I did not get tickets for the Troxy show, but they are the rare case, as I say, that they just don't play their hits. They truly are still challenging themselves and the audience, and that's why they are so respected and loved. They do everything so well, and they truly are one of the greats of our time. In terms of recommendations, this may seem like a slight cop out, but I would honestly start with their borderline untouchable greatest hits. It doesn't really delve into their more experimental, weirder, later stuff. It really is a genuine greatest hits record, but it gives you a great insight into their more poppy, mainstream stuff. And Robert Smith chose all the track listing himself. If you like that, I would then jump into Disintegration, The Top, The Head on the Door, and then Pornography. They're some of my personal favourites, but they truly don't have a dud album. Start at the start and make your way through. They are just an amazing band that have influenced everyone across 40 years. So long live The Cure, one of my favourite bands of all time. I selfishly hope, and I don't think it's going to be their last album, but announce a tour, Robert. I need to see you. Announce the Cure documentary, Robert. Announce 15 more albums, Robert. And subscribe to my channel, Gig Nerds. I love you, The Cure. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm super excited for the album. It's out tomorrow on this time. But take care, guys. Sub to the channel. We love The Cure. Take care.